Well, good job on that. I mean, that's significant. That's a lot of, you know. Um,
Thank you.
I definitely look at it like it's like a three-legged stool, right? Mental, spiritual, physical. I call it my kryptonite, but I have, spinal or joint things are mine. I've had my lower back fused and my neck fused and that type of stuff. But I've been working out since I was in my early 20s, and that is a big spot for me, is getting in there. Same thing, I'll throw on the earbuds or whatever and just start lifting. And once you get that sweat going and get the little aches and pains from the joints out of the way, and then just moving some weight, and it's like a movie meditation.
Yeah.
It definitely, and it gets rid of that extra stress and stuff like that. And another one for me is I have an old pickup truck that I love working on the truck. And same thing, I just turn on the music and get out there and just, I guess it turns the brain off from worrying about all the little stupid stuff that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just be in there, and I like what you said. When I come back, when I finish doing all that, I'm a little more clearer, I guess. I'm not focusing on all the little bullshit stuff that doesn't matter and worrying about, things that are never going to happen and all that. And it allows me to just get rid of some of that stress also. Our bodies are made to move, and use it or lose it, the old saying is very true.
Yeah.
And I found out the less I moved, because after a back injury, I was avoiding lower body stuff. And I just made it worse by not using it. Yes, I was trying to protect my back, but, then I didn't feel good about myself. And it just kind of all starts adding on to itself. So for me, besides just being quiet and around, I need to move. I need to break a sweat. I need to feel my body functioning and stuff like that. And it helps a lot for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent my whole life kind of hating my body, in this, not, in the sense that, like, I was like, I'm going to do all this work, but I'm going to do it up here. And I, was never comfortable the way I am now, and comfortable being uncomfortable in a sense too. It's like, okay, I don't have to panic if this doesn't come easy and things like that. So absolutely, it's that three-legged stool for sure.
Yeah. They all cliche. They're just not, as it sounds, they truly are not separate. When you try to find the dividing line between the sharp tack intellect and your emotions and the body, it blurs. And it's one stool, and by helping each leg of it, you help the others. But often, I would have to say, often, as human beings who are coming into this work because we're in pain to one degree, we're unhappy in some sense. There's always one particular leg of that stool which we have not paid attention to. And Tom, it sounds like you're physically was like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
I don't need that.
I don't need that, And I know Robert, from our interaction, that like emotionally anger, it's like, you just working it out there. And me, I was also body, like I'm very thin. I never liked my body because of that. And so I was a lot up here.
Mm-hmm.
You come around, and you see that how by whatever grace allows you to come around, to see that there's beauty in all of it. And I want to say this too, that the glue that holds all of those three things together in harmony is noticing the deeper self. Noticing the deeper, truer part of you is the glue that holds all of those three things together. Because I'm not, like, I'm done identifying as being super smart. Don't give a shit. I'm also done identifying being an emotionally charged or together or dramatic person. I'm not my emotions. I'm okay with my emotions, but I'm not defined by my emotion. And I'm also not physically, I'm not defined by my physique either. I'm not defined by my body. What defines me? Who am I? Is the question that I think that we may or may not have come into this work asking, but it is the question that we all need to eventually answer. Who am I? And that the answer to that comes together with all three of these things. They all kind of come together as one package. The answer to that, who am I, as I said earlier, is the glue that holds all of those three together. And it wasn't really until I was able to get clear and have the courage and to meet the fear that it takes to completely I'm gonna have to get this little dude out of the room here in a second here. To meet who I am, to know who I am. It wasn't until that happened that I really finally dropped into my body. It's when I finally knew myself that I really dropped in that I really finally was able to be and embrace all of my emotions, all of them, good ones, bad ones. And it wasn't until then that I like intellectually in my mind, like felt like, okay, that's a tool I can use anytime I want, any way that I want. I'm not inhibited by it. It doesn't define me, etc. So it wasn't until I discovered that the one thing that all of those are resting in,
Okay.
that all of them came into focus. So there's a beautiful play there. I'm gonna pause 1 second, make sure you gonna be quiet? I think he's good.
Bathroom work done, so they're using a jackhammer downstairs. So I'll keep hitting mute every once in a while.
I'm not hearing it, so it's all good.
Yeah, no.
Well, yeah, we're kind of like you're saying, Jeff. We're all those things, but we're none of those things at the same time.
Yeah.
Not one specifically identifies, and that still worked for me. Absolutely. Early on when I was young, I was identified by what I did. That's who I was. I was this person. I was this emergency room nurse or whatever. And when that's not taken away or whatever, then it's like you're left. Well, who the hell am I now? I identified as one person or one thing only, and it's still a work in progress. But I definitely see how, again, the stool, how they all make the one being. And
well, you discover that you're nobody before we all want to be somebody, and then and in trying to be somebody, we're that the broader definition of that, we're looking for fulfillment, we're looking for fortification, we're looking for identification, we're looking for security, identity. We want to be somebody. I wanted to be somebody.
Yeah.
And then what you and the love or the happiness, the contentment that you're looking through trying to be somebody, you ironically and paradoxically end up finding through being nobody. So again, I was saying that for me personally, all of those three elements didn't come into focus until I discovered the one ring that was sort of behind them all, and that's what this is about.
Where I was going to go. You had one of those YouTube talks, and I think it was Destination Happiness. By the time you get there, it's not there anymore. If you're always waiting or trying to get to the certain spot to be happy, missing it because you're in it now. And boy, that's a big is being okay and learning where I'm at. And it's not the next whatever, the better job, the better house, or the better whatever is not going to bring me. I don't have it inside me right now. And I think that leads to a lot of my past history of trying to fill that hole, trying to find something to be happy, and not realizing you kind of create your own happiness once you work through all the shit and be where you're at.
Yeah.
Well, and what happens is another paradox that happens, like when you, like, what's really weird is that you understand that, and you have all these beautiful moments where you're very present, and you're like, aha, here it is. And then what happens is, because you can't, as much as I'd love to say you can live in some sort of permanent condition of of bliss or enlightenment. It's eluded me. I don't know. Maybe there's some guys in India, but that's not my cup of tea. What happens is that on the backside, when you return to your normal operational mind, the more that you've dived into the ocean of being, the more you're actually okay with mind. So that you're okay with all of the, here's where I'm going with this, Robert. You then return to the part of you that is looking forward to like I can't wait till I get this. I want this. This is my goal. You're because that's what the mind does.
Right.
It like operates off of trying to get to the next thing. And then you just see that as a mechanism of mind, and you just let it be.
Yeah.
And then you're okay. Like me, I do that. I totally do that. Like I'm totally, I can't wait to, like we have a great place here, but I'd love to. There's a lake in North Carolina that I'm in love with. Like we live on a small little pondy lake thing, and I love living on the water. But there's a part of me, there's the ego part, that is like, wow, I'd love to be able to live there, because I think that this and this and this, and I know that it's false that, I blow it up in my head on what I think that living on that lake will be like. But see, that's what I'm saying. It's like that play that is in effect in my mind never goes away, and you got to be comfortable with that. You're not going to get rid of that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You won't ever get rid of that, but you can. Here's the trick: you can step back, and now you can see it. You're aware of that mechanism. You're not hoodwinked by it, caught by it, like in a toxic way. You realize, yeah, and some of that is okay. Maybe this section of it is not healthy, where I shouldn't be. I got to find a way that I can be more present in my job, like it or not.
Yes.
I got to find a way to do that. Like I can't be fantasizing always about, I can't wait until 10 years until I have the perfect job. That's not good. But the balance is, I think, is to be able to have a little bit of that, so that it doesn't make, you're not miserable every day.
Yes.
Because who wants that? You've got to have this innate ability to say, that's bullshit. And I need to find this peace and this happiness and this contentment today, right here, right now. And that's super important. And that brings us back again to our trifecta of emotions and body and mind, of being able to have tools that can help us to be present. Working on your car, Robert, taking walks, fly fishing. Those little tools then support, okay, I'm not living for the next day. I'm not living for next week. I'm being present.
Yes.
Here today. And that's, I think, very valuable.